Hello everyone, Xeno What If here. To bring in What If UNSC Ships, Doctor Who and Transformers arriving during Order 66 Part 2. Listen here YouTube, this is not a scam and I do not own anything. The galaxy did not burn the way it was meant to. Palpatine, Darth Sidious, stood in chains before a stunned Republic Council, the truth of the Sith finally exposed. His manipulation of the Senate, the Jedi, and the clone army laid bare by impossible allies from beyond the stars. The Autobots, the UNSC, and a madman in a bowtie with a blue box. Anakin Skywalker ended it himself. The lightsaber ignited once, then silence. With Sidious dead, the Force itself seemed to exhale. Across the galaxy, clone troopers froze mid-command as the inhibitor chips were discovered and surgically removed. Order 66 died before it could finish killing the Jedi Order. Worlds that should have fallen into darkness instead erupted in rebellion against the lie they had lived under. The Republic did not become an empire. Instead, something new rose from the ashes. Count Dooku, observing from the shadows of Serenno, received the news not with triumph but with devastating clarity. His master was dead, not by his hand in a grand Sith succession, but slain by his own chosen apprentice turned enemy. The holographic record of Anakin Skywalker striking down Sidious played on a loop. "He was going to replace me," Dooku whispered to the empty room, the aristocratic fury gone, replaced by cold, bitter realization. All of it, the war, the sacrifice, was just a ladder for another. The foundation of his decades-long fall crumbled. He didn't pledge himself to the new light. Instead, he vanished, his fate unknown, leaving the remnants of the Separatist Council fractured and leaderless. Across the galaxy, a quiet, surgical operation took place. With the UUA's blessing and the medical expertise of Ratchet and First Aid, aided by UNSC field surgeons, the inhibitor chips were safely removed from every clone trooper. The Grand Army of the Republic was reborn as the Alliance Defense Force, its soldiers finally endowed with true, unquestioned free will. Rex and Cody became celebrated heroes of the new era. The prophesied Galactic Empire never rose. The First Order would remain a nightmare unborn. But peace is a fragile construct. In the dark corners of the galaxy, new threats coalesced. The Decepticons, under Megatron, had not been idle. With Count Dooku's final, spiteful act before his disappearance, he gifted Megaton the coordinates to hidden separatist droid foundries and resource-rich, bombarded worlds. The Decepticons moved in, their industry a perverse mirror of Autobot compassion. They repurposed droid factories, not to build servants, but to forge new Terracon drones and harvest raw materials. Worse, they deployed energon siphons, draining the life energy of entire planets, leaving them as barren husks. On the bridge of the Nemesis, now retrofitted with stolen Republic hyperdrives, Megatron surveyed his growing legions. Starscream stood uncharacteristically silent at his side. "You have been unusually contemplative, Starscream," Megatron rumbled, not turning. "No schemes. No grand pronouncements on leadership." Starscream's optics narrowed. "I am merely assessing our strategic position. We lost a powerful ally in Sidious. The Autobots have won a significant victory with their new allies. The calculus has changed." Megatron scoffed. "We have gained resources Dooku was too weak to properly utilize. We are building a new Decepticon empire from the ashes of their war. And should an opportunity for a new partnership arise, we shall be ready." On Coruscant, the old Republic banners were lowered. In their place rose a new symbol, one forged from impossible unity. The United Universal Alliance was born. Jedi stood beside clone troopers by choice, not programming. UNSC Marines drilled alongside planetary defense forces. Autobots towered over cities they helped rebuild, not conquer. The UNSC Spirit of Fire anchored Alliance fleets, flanked by Titan-class dreadnoughts and Santiana cruisers. Pelicans and Condors filled the skies of liberated worlds. ODSTs became legends among clone battalions. Outer Rim worlds flourished for the first time in generations, slavery abolished, gardens grown where wastelands once stood. The Doctor and Amy Pond departed quietly, believing, hoping, their work was done. Anakin Skywalker lived. Luke and Leia, 10 years old, trained not as soldiers, but as people. On a sunlit plateau, Lupin 003 sparred with Luke. "Ow, how are you this good?" Luke laughed, brushing himself off. Intense training, kid. Where I'm from, we didn't have the force. We had grit, drills, and a will to survive, Lupin said, his helmet retracted to show a kind, scarred smile. We gave it a push. The real work is yours now. So, what do you want to be? Don't say, Jedi, just because it's expected. Luke looked down, thoughtful. I don't know. Good, Lupin nodded. Figure it out. Your path is your own. Never let anyone, not a Sith, not a Jedi, not a Spartan, tell you otherwise. The peace shattered on the remote frontier world of Hestria V. A spatial anomaly, not a Republic hyperlane, tore open. From it emerged a fleet of jagged, brutalist warships painted in rust red and obsidian black. Banished dropships descended, disgorging Jiralhanai chieftains, Sangheili warriors, Ungoi troops, and the hulking forms of hunters. Atriox, standing on the bridge of his dreadnought, clenched his gravity mace. A new galaxy, fresh, unspoiled by the false promises of the Covenant or the stubbornness of humanity. Here, the banished will carve a true empire. Before his forces could fully establish a beachhead, a new hologram flickered to life on his command console. The fearsome, horned visage of Megatron filled the screen. Warlord, Megaton's voice was a blade of polished steel. I perceive you are also new to this galactic neighborhood. It seems we share common enemies, the Autobots and their human allies. Perhaps our interests could be aligned. Atriox's lip curled into a slow, calculating grin. I listen. As the banished began their planetfall, a priority hail, encrypted with strange, shifting frequencies, pierced their comms. A fearsome, metallic visage filled Decimus's screen. I am Megatron, the figure declared. You seek conquest in this galaxy. I offer you a proposition. Join forces. Your brute strength and my transformative technology. Together, we will break this fledgling alliance and split this galaxy between us. Decimus bared his fangs. He knew nothing of Cybertronians, but he recognized ambition and power. Your terms. Your ground forces, my air and space supremacy. We target their symbols of hope. Coruscant. The Autobot arc. The human spirit of fire. A brutal grin spread across Decimus's face. The banished, accept. On a remote ice planet, a lost cyber legion, a remnant of a time war incursion, stirred from its millennia-long dormancy. You will be upgraded, the cyber leader intoned, its monotone voice echoing in the frozen cavern. Its pronouncement was cut short by a barrage of energon fire. Blitzwing G1, in his tank mode, rolled forward, shifting to his robot form with a mad cackle. Cyclonus, Armada, and Lugnut hovered above. Organic weaklings turned to metal. How quaint. Blitzwing sneered, his icy personality dominant. The Cybermen's weapon fire pattered harmlessly off his thick armor. Delete. Delete. Let me show you real deletion. Lugnut boomed, slamming his mighty fist into the ground, causing an avalanche that crushed a dozen Cybermen. Cyclonus observed coldly. Megatron will be pleased. These drones can be repurposed. Their emotionless logic can be given a proper purpose, Decepticon will. Unbeknownst to them, the TARDIS materialized on a distant ridge. The 11th Doctor peered out, his face grim. Cybermen, here, and working with Decepticons. Oh, that's a bad combination. A very bad combination. Time for a family reunion, Pond. In a quiet corner of Alliance Prime, the familiar groan of ancient engines announced a return. The TARDIS materialized. The 11th Doctor and Amy Pond stepped out, their faces grim. Didn't expect you back so soon, Douglas 042 remarked, overseeing a Wolverine maintenance crew. Holograms of Optimus Prime, Captain Cutter, Yoda, Mace Windu, Anakin Skywalker, and now the Doctor filled the room. Footage from Lupin 03's helmet cam played, the banished landing. Sensor logs from the ice planet showed the Decepticon Cyberman fusion. The banished are a brutal, mercenary covenant from our universe, Jerome 092 explained. They thrive on chaos and destruction. An alliance with Megatron makes them exponentially more dangerous. And the Cybermen represent a threat of absolute, logical conversion, the Doctor added, uncharacteristically grave. If the Decepticons successfully integrate their technology, they could create an army that feels no fear, no doubt, and never, ever stops. Optimus Prime looked at the assembled faces, human, Jedi, Autobot, Time Lord. Two great evils from our pasts have found each other in this new sky. They believe our hope has made us vulnerable. We must prove them wrong. Then prove them wrong, we shall, Yoda stated, thumping his Geimer stick. A new war, this is. Not of clones and droids, but of light against a consuming shadow. Captain Cutter activated the fleet-wide channel. All UNSC vessels, condition, Zulu. Autobot forces, prepare for combined arms deployment. Jedi commanders, coordinate with Spartan ground teams. We are the shield. Now, we become the spear. The Alliance struck first. A joint task force, UNSC short sword bombers escorted by Autobot aerial bots like Jetfire and Jedi starfighters, blasted the Decepticon ice planet stronghold. On the ground, it was a symphony of coordinated warfare. ODSTs dropped in pods, their suppressors chattering as they cleared paths for clone trooper squads. Spartan Red Team, Jerome, Douglas, Alice spearheaded the assault on the main forge, their coordinated attacks dismantling the newly forged Cybercon prototypes. Bulkhead smashed through a wall, followed by RC and Bumblebee, who zipped through the chaotic interior, taking out Viacon guards. Ironhide provided heavy weapons support, his cannons melting the icy fortifications. If you want to see more characters, enter different universe, then leave a comment down below to see which character you want to see next and hit that subscribe button. Bulkhead smashed through a wall, followed by RC and Bumblebee, who zipped through the chaotic interior, taking out Viacon guards. Ironhide provided heavy weapons support, his cannons melting the icy fortifications. In the central chamber, they found the prize, a massive spark extractor, draining the life force of the planet to fuel the Cybercon assembly lines. In the skies, UNSC short sword bombers and AV-22 Sparrowhawks dueled with banished Banshees and Decepticon Seekers. Bumblebee and Hot Shot, smaller and faster, weaved through dogfights, taking out key targets. The Doctor, armed with his sonic screwdriver and wits, infiltrated the main cyber conversion hub. You will be upgraded, a cyber leader droned, advancing. Upgraded. You lot never get it, do you? The Doctor retorted, sonicking a control panel. Emotion, love, grief, joy, that's not a weakness. That's what makes things worth upgrading in the first place. The central reactor overloaded, causing a chain reaction that crippled the facility. The stronghold fell. The Alliance's first combined strike was a decisive victory. The Doctor, armed with his sonic screwdriver and wits, infiltrated the main cyber conversion hub. You will be upgraded, a cyber leader droned, advancing. Upgraded. You lot never get it, do you? The Doctor retorted, sonicking a control panel. Emotion, love, grief, joy, that's not a weakness. That's what makes things worth upgrading in the first place. The central reactor overloaded, causing a chain reaction that crippled the facility. The stronghold fell. The Alliance's first combined strike was a decisive victory. On the Nemesis, now in a hidden nebula alongside Atriox's flagship, Megatron watched the feed from Vexos go dark. He showed no anger. A minor loss, he stated to Atriox and his own commanders. The Cybermen were weak, fragile assets. They served their purpose, they tested the Alliance's response. We have learned. We have the Separatists' infinite droid blueprints, the Banished's martial fury, and Cybertronian might. We will build a legion unlike any this galaxy has seen. Let them have their small victories. When we strike next, it will be at the heart of their precious unity. In the shadows, Starscream watched, a plan of his own beginning to form. Loyalty was a currency he spent only on himself. On a balcony overlooking the gleaming spires of Unity Prime, Optimus Prime stood with his closest allies, Bumblebee, Jetfire, Captain Cutter, Anakin Skywalker, and the Doctor. We have weathered the first storm, Optimus said, gazing at the stars. But Megatron and his new allies will not stop. The war for freedom never truly ends. It doesn't, Anakin agreed, his hand on his lightsaber, but his face peaceful. But now we fight it together, not as soldiers in a fabricated war, but as guardians of a real peace. The Doctor stuffed his hands in his pockets. Bigger on the inside, this alliance of yours. Just like the TARDIS. And just as full of surprises. Count me in. We protect all of it, Cutter agreed. The Spirit of Fire and the Titan-class Everest will lead the relief force to Ryloth. The rest of the fleet, with Autobot and Jedi support, will hold the shipyard. Optimus Prime looked at each of them, the soldier, the mystic, the knight, the madman in a box, and the Spartan. A brotherhood forged not by chance, but by choice. Then let our answer be clear. We do not retreat. We do not sacrifice the innocent. We stand together. He raised his fist, his voice resonating with absolute conviction. Till all are one. The phrase was echoed in a dozen languages, in the war cries of Spartans and ODSTs, in the battle chants of Wookiees and clone veterans, in the revving engines of Autobots, and in the serene determination of the Jedi. On the bridge of the Spirit of Fire, the fleet jumped to lightspeed. On the orbital docks, Autobots transformed and rolled out. In the hangars, Jedi fighters ignited their engines. The Clone Wars were over. The Galactic Civil War never began. This was something new. This was the war for the soul of the galaxy. And the Alliance, a tapestry of heroes from shattered worlds, was ready to fight for the dawn they had just begun to build. And this is the end of part 2 of this What If. Hope you guys like it. Do not forget to leave a comment down below and subscribe to the channel.